Hello, luxury agents. As we talk about working smarter versus working harder, we began a discussion last time about the importance of mindset and the whole concept of what we focus on becomes real. Again, I think it was Earl Nightingale who said that eons ago. What we focus on becomes real. And in a challenging market such as the one we find ourselves in now, even if it's picking up in where you are, it's still a challenging market because people are skittish and oftentimes reluctant and afraid to make a move, to pull the trigger, to buy an expensive property. It's so easy to focus on the negative. And with an election coming up, we're being barraged with negative news all the time, as are our buyers and sellers. So one way we can control our mindset and focus on our outcome and work smarter versus harder is to understand the concept of questions. Questions are how we program our mind and our subconscious, this whole thing in the back of our head back here called the reticular activating system. One way we program that is with the power of goal setting, but a more important way we program that part of our mind is through the asking of questions. If you think about it and really be conscious of your thoughts throughout the day, every minute of the day you're asking yourself thousands of questions. And usually in the night, you've asked yourself questions all day long, and your brain works the entire night while you're asleep, coming up with answers to the questions you have asked it. The problem comes in the fact that most of the questions we ask ourselves are crummy questions. And crummy questions result in bad answers. And bad answers result in a bad mindset. And a bad mindset affects our focus. And with bad focus, we find it difficult to work smarter, and therefore we work harder. So let's talk about the whole concept of positive questions. Understand, first of all, that when someone asks you a question, it changes your focus instantly. It just interrupts everything instantly. It helps reprogram your sensory filter, and a question helps you gain resources that are contained within yourself. For instance, when I'm writing a blog or a chapter for one of my books or writing a PowerPoint presentation for a training, I'll oftentimes sit down and have somebody interview me and ask me questions because I gain resources within myself that I didn't know that I had. So questions really do that. And like I said before, the trouble is we always ask ourselves crummy questions, and that's just not good. Questions control the focus of our mind. It helps us understand what we're paying attention to, and we become what we think about. We become what we think about. The important thing to understand is that your mind will come up with an answer to any question you ask it. So when you ask yourself questions like, why can't I get a listing in this market? Why can't I get my buyers to pull the trigger in this market? Why can't I get a price reduction? Why can't I get listings priced right? Why can't I compete with that number one agent in the luxury market in my area? These are the kinds of questions we ask ourselves over and over and over again throughout the day, and our mind works at hyperspeed over time all night through the night while we're asleep, coming up with answers to these crummy questions. And of course, what the answers do is reinforce the negativity of those questions we're asking ourselves. We need to learn to turn the questions around. So for example, instead of asking, why can't I get a price reduction in this market? Ask yourself, what can I do to help convince my seller of the wisdom of lowering their price in this market? What can I do to get more listings in this market? What are 5 things I can do to make myself more competitive with the market leader in this luxury area that I'm working in? What can I do to become more effective in my listing presentation? What can I do to make my listing presentation more hard-hitting and more positive? You see, when your mind works to answer these questions, they're going to help fulfill the goal of maintaining the control of your mind, maintaining your focus on your goal, maintaining a positive mindset, helping you focus on your goals so that your goals become real, and therefore helping you work smarter versus working harder. I hope that makes sense. We'll continue our series next time. In the meantime, don't forget, if you have questions about working harder versus working smarter, or the other way around, I should say, or if you have any questions about luxury real estate, don't forget to fill out the form that comes with the book and schedule your 20-minute phone consultation with me, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. I learn when I help you answer your questions. Until next time, make it a great week.